Hello, everybody. This is Tom, the Lone Wolf Prepper. Can I get a 5x5? Anybody out there? Hey, get somebody in the chat. Maybe somebody will want to listen to me. Yeah, I got a little late today. There's somebody in there. Had an emergency with a calf. Anyway, can I get a 5x5, please? Everybody listening to me. 5x5. Thank you, Catherine. Anyway, yeah, a couple minutes late today. Got an emergency call on a calf, so I had to run out there real quick. Anyway, how's everybody doing this evening? Sure, it's kind of a weird spring, isn't it? I sure wish things would warm up a bit, but that's a little bit on the weather. I had people out on the east. Boy, you guys are really getting nailed, and in Oklahoma, going to bed every night with the severe storms coming. You don't know if you're going to get taken out by a tornado. Makes rough sleeping at night. So I've been through a few tornadoes in my time. They're definitely not the funnest things to go through, especially when you're woke up in the middle of the night by one. Just say it wakes you up out of your dead sleep and you're standing up before you know you're awake. So, come on, you guys, settle down. Don't need the dogs getting all nuts. Anyway, oh, we got a few people in here. All right. Let's get on subject a little bit. I tell you what, I really don't like talking about this much, but this trial for Donald Trump is nothing but a circus. I mean, they're trying to get him for hush money to a porn star. Okay, now let's say that's true and stuff. Let's say he's just like every other politician now. Bill Clinton, how much money he have to pay out? This whole thing is a fiasco. They're just thirsting to get him in prison. I don't understand. This man has not hurt any of these people's lives that just want to destroy his life. The average American was Trump did. Tried to make him more free. Just because he's rich or whatever. I mean, these people just trying to destroy him and using the courts for it. Kangaroo courts. It's like we got a banana republic. Front runner in a race. And they're going to try to jail him on some charge that, if it is true, every politician should be rung up on it. So that means everybody in D.C. would be thrown in prison. That'd solve a lot of our problems. It's sickening to watch. Hi, Carol. How are you doing tonight? So we're talking about Trump's trial. Where they're just doing anything to destroy the poor man. I mean, he's going to get a lot of sympathy votes now because, we always sit there and try to support the one that's getting picked on. What they are doing is so against his civil rights. As an American, he has the same civil rights we do. Can you imagine if you were going through a trial like this? Everybody just trumping up charges, trumping up, making stuff up, thirsting to see him behind bars. But Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Nancy Pelosi. Now let's not forget about Paul Pelosi painting at 2 a.m. with some queer guy in their underwear. I'd like to know the full story behind that. But, I mean, they're just going after this man in a way that is, you can tell it's personal. And then they're saying it's not political bias. Really? Then what's it based on? You know, our political system's corrupt up, and our politicians are all paid off and are able to be bought with money, sex, drugs, all three of them. You know, we never did get the old Epstein Black Book out yet. Yeah, I wonder who's all on that, like Bill Clinton. Anybody ever see that photo or that painting of Bill Clinton that Epstein had? Of Bill Clinton in a red dress wearing high heels and stuff, sitting in that chair? Anybody remember that one? Imagine what kind of control he had over that man. It's just a farce having to see somebody go through all this. And personally, I don't care what he did in his bedroom with somebody, okay? You say if we start caring about that, we'd have to care about what Kennedy had on the side room of the Oval Office with a woman in there every day. Politicians and sex. That's just two things that go together. Okay? They cheat on their wives, they cheat on their husbands. What is going on here? I don't know what just happened there. Can I get a 5x5 again? My computer just did something really strange. Am I still alive? Am I still alive? Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know what my computer did. The screen went blank and it started. Anyway, I guess I'm probably saying stuff they don't want to hear. The truth. You know, we were all forced to grow up listening to the truth, whether we want to hear it or not. And now you're not able to sit there and give a single shred of truth. And they got a court proceeding going on with a bunch of lies and people just thirsting at the chops to throw Trump in jail. You know what it kind of reminds me of? The way all the people that wanted Jesus killed, whether they were dancing around and celebrating after they got Jesus on the cross. People haven't changed. Thousands and thousands of years, people haven't changed. I really think people would rather be slaves. Then they ain't responsible for themselves. And they can sit there and go, well, it's that person's fault because he didn't take care of me. Bad situation. I mean, this whole court proceeding, like it's embarrassing. I look at myself as another countryman sitting in his chair watching the news in this country as he's looking at the news of the U.S. going, wondering, how come they are falling apart like this? You know, people that came from a communist country are scratching their heads. How can they want to give up their freedom to go to what we escaped from? And you got people wanting it. You know, if China were to invade right now, half the population would fight on their side. Crazy times. People don't understand what communism is. Communism is one thing. You got the people at the top, very few, controlling everything, and everybody's equal on the bottom with nothing. Okay? Everybody driving the same car, living in the same shape of apartment, having the same furniture, all that stuff. Common. Commune. Okay? All I know is I don't think like them. So, you know, there's people wanting it. And I just don't understand what happened to the American spirit. I'm not saying we were better than every other nation on the world, but we definitely had a different mindset. And that mindset's been taken over. You know, just like when we had the standard in the metric system. And then all of a sudden, the metric system, the European style, just had to take over our standard system. So now when you're working on a vehicle or something, now you need metric and standard, you know, because it's not like a vehicle is put together with just metric bolts or standard bolts. Depending on where the part was made and stuff is depending on what type of bolt it is. You know, just one of those little things they want to help us out in the world. It's like these gas cans they came out with, you know, that you spill more gas trying to put something in than you ever did with an old one. I'd say if you're too stupid and don't know how to run a gas can, then don't touch it. I mean, I guess this sounds a little bit like a rant. It is. I mean, we're putting somebody on trial just so they can sit there and try to make it so he can't be president. Not that he did anything wrong. It's just because he's popular with the American people. That's why he's on trial. And if he were to get in office, do you think these criminals can never allow Donald Trump to get in office? If he got in office and did what he actually said he was going to do, and these people were actually going to get sent to prison, it's like a criminal, I guess, in their criminal activities, allowing a cop in, thinking they're not going to get arrested or nothing. I know they don't like what I'm saying. A simple nobody. I don't know. I'm just not going to shut up. I took 4 days off of YouTube. I do like being a fan sometime on YouTube. And that's one thing about being a creator. You don't get to be a fan as much as you want to. I got my creators I really like listening to. And a lot of times I don't have that time anymore. And then I come on here and YouTube shadow ban so bad. I'm out here trying to give my opinion, what I feel the truth is. Try to make people more independent of themselves. To become a better person. I'm not going to follow the herd. I never have. Look at the herd they want you to follow. This is one thing about, I want to say a superior male, but, a Sigma male. I don't follow beta males. Not at all. Maybe it's the nature of me and stuff, but, if somebody doesn't at least strive to be the type of person I am, I'm not gonna listen to them. The laziness that has come into this world. We were taught when we were kids, if you want something in your life, you were the one who's got to make it. That's what we were told from a young age. Okay? You're the one who makes your future. Nobody's going to give it to you. When did all that stuff change? Just like sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt me. These liberals, the words are the worst thing. That's why they sit here and get in, and they'll, if you make a comment and you don't even say one way, whether you're Trump or Biden, but let's say it's a little not towards Biden, they'll accuse you of being a Trump supporter, insult you, whatever they can do. The first thing is to insult you. Well, that don't affect me, like I say. They can insult me worse than I've already been insulted in my life. That would be a major accomplishment. But words are so harmful to them. Hearing the truth is important. How are you supposed to make rational decisions if you're making them based on the Twilight Zone? How's that going to help you in the future? Anyway, I guess it's just this whole trial thing. It's making America look like a monkey. They get Trump in jail, fine. He's still going to win the election. And then when they get out, they don't want him to use his position for political persecution. He doesn't have to. It's not political persecution when he gets in office. It's just enforcing the law and bringing the ones that are guilty to trial. Selling out our country. $10 billion in debt every day. I can't work that much. I can't work that much to pay that type of stuff off. Just going to sit there and rob from us. Give it to sit there and fight all these wars. Both sides, financing both sides, except in Russia and Ukraine. Now we want to bring Palestinians here. Yep, fly them here on taxpayers' dollar, and then, assimilate them into the U.S. when they want to be Palestine. Why would we want to bring Palestinians here when the Palestinians we got in this country already trying to tear it down. Okay, so that means the ones that they're bringing over here are more radical than the ones that are already here. Imagine what's going to happen then. Oh, I never heard you, Nancy Pelosi and the Medal of Freedom. That's right up there with Barack Obama receiving the Nobel Peace Prize. Remember that? What was he, president for 4 months and got the Nobel Peace Prize? Yeah, these guys can sit there and pin medals on them and give themselves certificates and stuff that are printed in gold. It don't mean nothing. Maybe in their world it does. Medal of Freedom. Yeah, Nancy Pelosi, when you said, oh yeah, unemployment's good because it helps stimulate the economy. Remember that during the financial crisis, 2008, 2009, 2010? Get those unemployment checks out? Yeah, it was a joke. I don't know why we're allowing this. You know, Lexington Concord happened not because the British were marching down that road. It happened because the colonists were finally, the patriots, were finally strong enough and organized enough to take them on and send them packing. Okay, that's why it happened there. We need to get to that point where we're organized and ready to take them on. You know, when we all realize what the real enemy for us all are is the U.S. federal government, trying to take the rights from all Americans. Special rights because I'm in a special group. Are you an American? You know, do I need to judge you on how weird you are? Or can I judge you on what kind of American you are? You know, we got to bring out in the foreground how you're not normal. I just got to accept it. But anyway, time to stand up. It's time to organize. You know, they separate us like YouTube. I mean, I can't even put on my wildlife channel. They will not promote that. It's non-political. I don't express my political or my personal opinions at all. It's just a passion for me, nature. And I can't even get them to put my shorts on the feed. But I can put the same feed on my prepper channel and get a couple hundred views. Well, they want to hear me sit there and complain. And I like to have a channel where I can just sit there and relax, sit out there and take videos, you know, on my days off and make a program. You know, pretty soon I'm going to have a bunch of babies around here. Swans, geese, snipes, I mean, you name it, pelicans. I can't just wait to see what a little pelican looks like. But, I mean, all that stuff. It'll be a stress reliever channel. But, you know, they won't promote it. A couple times it takes off and they shut it up. Just like last night. You know, I know how my channel could take off if they let it. Put a video on, and I was up to almost 3,000 views an hour. And I was getting subscribers, and all of a sudden, bam! Shut me down. Just like that. Like they flipped the switch. You know, I'm really sick and tired of my freedom of speech being curtailed by a computer program. And I'm sure when, you know, the big wigs of these social platforms actually get called on the carpet for this, they'll be like, well, we didn't know. Our computer algorithm was doing it. We didn't know. Ignorance. They know. You know, but whatever. Can't shut it up. You know, you can shut us up all day long. But we still all go to the grocery store. We still all go to the gas pumps. We still all pay our automobile insurance and all our other insurance we pay. All our basics to live in this country now that we need, you know. You know, you basically got to work 30 hours a week to pay your taxes and your basic expenses just to live. You know, I don't happen to live like that, but most people do. Most people their hours don't even cover. Because they have decided, our society has decided that they would like to become financial slaves and go in debt. Always got somebody convincing you that what you want today, we can lend you the money so you can have it today. How about saving the money up and paying cash for it? Makes it a lot easier. Then you're in control. But of course, with the digital dollar, that'll all change. Zaya, quiet. So anyway, but I would like to see us get to the point as strong as the Patriots were at Lexington and Concord. A lot stronger than they were on January 6th. We can do it. We can take our country back. Because if we don't, we're all going to be slaves in it. And eventually it's going to lead to, nuclear annihilation. I mean, they complain about Iran having a nuclear weapon because they're not responsible with it, right? And we got these clowns in office in our country with a very strong nuclear arsenal, and they're in charge of it. I don't believe Jojo is in charge of our nuclear arsenal. There's no way he is. But still, one of the morons in his administration or the military has the codes, okay? And we're just supposed to trust them. They want to take our guns away. How about they take their nuclear weapons away? They don't need them. Why do we have those type of weapons? For mutual assured destruction, right? To ensure that another country doesn't want to sit there and off us and can do it with us not having to respond, okay? But the same government that thinks that way wants to sit there and take my gun rights from me so I cannot defend myself in case a intruder comes in or the tyrannical government wants to come and take my freedom. Minnesota just passed a law that you have to have a gun in a gun safe with a trigger lock on it, with the ammunition stored locked in a separate place. How safe is that home? How safe did that gun just make that home? And when you got criminals that know that, I would say burglaries and home invasions are probably going to go up. That's just my guess, but let's see what happens, Minnesota. You give the criminals a free rein, the last thing they're going to do is be good people, but sit there and, we'll make it harder on the law-abiding citizen to exercise his constitutional rights. Any law against the Second Amendment is unconstitutional. Any law or regulation or restriction. So just don't listen to him. I don't know why people are listening to him. I know I'm not. I'm done. They want to come out here and take my life because I won't comply no more, so be it. Then I guess that's how my life will end. I'm not dealing with these morons no more. They're brain dead. It's like the dumbest kid being in class teaching the class. Or the biggest criminal in the town being in charge of the town or the government. Oh, that's what's going on. Yeah. You can take a country back. 1776 would just surprise the hell out of these people. But we need a leader. These governors, it would be nice if they would start protecting their people from the tyranny of the federal government. Nebraska has decided not to comply with the Biden administration's new public school transgender policies about being able to use whatever bathroom you want, locker room, and biological men and girls sports. Nebraska put its foot down. We're not going to do it. I'm curious to see what the Biden administration is going to do. But why do we have to accept this? Why does a girl who's trying to compete and maybe get a scholarship in athletics or whatever be muscled up by a boy? Just like Leah Thompson, taking all those records. Those ain't going to stand. Because in the future, they're going to look at a record by a man in a woman's sport. Number one, what man takes pride in winning a trophy in a woman's sport and taking it from a woman? Okay, there's already something wrong with that individual. Okay, that right up there with that participation trophy. But why is he in women's? Because he couldn't beat men. That's why he's competing against women. Because a little whiner loser that didn't want to push it more and more, like good athletes do, go out there and practice, build muscle, train for hours. Leah Thompson, what a joke. And then in the locker room, spinning his little pecker around to all the college girls. Well, you know what, college girls? Just grab that baby once with a meat cleaver and go, bam! Now you can be in this locker room. A little harsh, isn't it? I don't push my lifestyle off on anybody because I know nobody would be happy living the way I do. Just like I wouldn't be happy living like a transgender. If you're a good person, you're a good person. If you don't like yourself, you don't like yourself. But if you think I gotta like you for you to like yourself, that ain't gonna happen. I'm just sick of all the pushy. I gotta think this way, I gotta think that way. The way you were brought up was wrong. So all those spankings I took when I was a kid was because I was wrong, right? Bullshit. Maybe we should have given them a little bit more spankings in their last few years, and we would have this. Yeah. So, but we need to find a reason to unite. I mean, the government's sitting there buying people. He's out there campaigning by giving money away. Here, I can get rid of your college debt. Just buy in votes. Like Obama with the Obama phones and stuff. Using our tax money to buy votes. If you had a good idea that people want to listen to, a good direction to bring the country in and stuff, you wouldn't have to buy nothing. But, just like the transgender or the pride thing they had at the White House over Easter and stuff, buying votes. I mean, don't these people realize that when these people finally get total control, the useful idiots are going to be, they're not going to need them no more. These people, when they get control, are not going to keep anybody around, especially ones that get extremely radical when they get upset, because it's a danger to them. And these people in charge do not support you people at all. Okay? What did Bill Clinton say about Barack Obama? About if he was in a different place, he'd be serving us coffee right now instead of president? Where did the Ku Klux Klan start out with? The Democratic Party? Who are the slave owners? The Democratic Party? They're just a bunch of liars. And all these people are falling for it. All these college kids, You think the freebies are going to be there when they finally all take over? No. You're going to be required to go to work. Yeah, you're going to have universal basic income, yeah. But you're going to be required to go to work. And if you're more than 10 minutes late for work, guess what? That's a year in the work gulag. Yeah, I know. It's not even legal to fly that flag there. That's for the United States of America flag. They don't care about the Constitution or laws or nothing. I mean, the border's wide open. They won't do nothing about it. Complete wide open. Thousands upon thousands. I mean, a city of 15 to 20,000 coming in every day. You know, around here, I have to go 15,000. I would have to go, I think, to Grand Island, Nebraska for sure. I would have to go at least 200 miles to get to a town more than 15,000 people. Okay. And they're letting a town like that into this country every day. As they're letting them in, they're getting their checks and their tickets to wherever they want to go and stuff. Okay. And then, then we don't have places to house them. So did you hear Chicago's idea? They want $50 billion to put to their education program. Okay. Teachers need to get $144,000 a year starting out. They need unlimited free abortions. I don't know what that's got to do with education. And they want to transform the buildings on campuses that aren't being used for schooling into migrant housing. That's their idea of solving the problem, instead of just closing the border and not letting them in. Why do us as the United States have to give everybody a great life? Okay. We don't even have one now. But why is it this country's and these people in this country's responsibility to make everybody comfortable in the whole world? I don't know why. I guess we make part of it comfortable and we want to kill the other part of it. Say, this is just a rant tonight. There's so much that's just that we got to put up with. And they just push it. I don't understand why patriots just don't get together. Organize. I mean, you're stealing our country out from underneath us. You know, I can retire in 8 years. What do I got to look forward to retirement? Tell me what I got to look forward to. In 8 years, at 70, they're probably going to start offing us. Well, kind of like Logan's Run. And they'll just start dropping the age all the time. It's crazy to think what can happen if this goes full circle. But anyway, band together. So I don't know. I'm not going to run that long tonight. I'm about ready to get off here. So it's been a long day. I had a bad start to this, having to do the cabin thing. So anyway, but we need to figure out how to band together. You know, the more they divide us, conquer and divide. I mean, they're just doing it by the playbook, and we're following them with it. I don't understand what happened to the American people. I mean, 40 years ago, if a politician would have talked like they do now, he had been ran out of town on a rail. Little by little, little by little. And look at what we're living in now. A banana republic where elections are stolen. Yeah, we did grow weak. This is what happens when you become spoiled as a country. When life gets so easy that nothing becomes a challenge anymore, and everything's at your fingertips. Yep, we get weak, lazy, and it leads to being conquered. Okay, we're going to conquer ourselves. It's already started. Criminals we got in charge, and it's not like any of this is a big secret. It's all fact. Hunter's laptop's a fact. Joe Biden selling the country out, it's a fact. 10% for the big guys, a fact. But it will never come out. I'm just sick of seeing this Trump trial over like I say, I don't know if he's guilty or not. I really don't care. Because like I say, if we held every politician to what he's being held for, Washington's going to get cleaned out, including Supreme Court. Chief Justice Robert, what were you doing on the Lolita Express? Taken over by a gang of criminals. So, anyway, they don't control me. Jojo, you have no control over me. Your control over me is an illusion. And if you want to come on and take my freedom and liberty, that's fine. I mean, you have the power to do it. But I, maybe taking a few of you with me when you do it. I will die standing on my feet. I will not comply with this retarded shit. I will not go the path this country's going. Yeah, it gets blamed on Trump. Trump hasn't been in office for over 3 years, but still Trump's fault. Like you say, why didn't Trump, when he was in the first time, drain the swamp? That's my first biggest pet peeve with him. He didn't drain the swamp, I'd have no problem taking him on. I'd have no problem pissing off half the country, putting the criminals in jail. I'd have no problem with that and how they felt about me. I wouldn't care about the public polls, and all the dirt would be brought out. He could have done it. Let the American people help him bring these people to justice. And then nothing, he spent money like a drunken sailor. That stuff has got to stop. Okay, the first thing that needs to go is we need to kick all the illegals out of this country. Okay? And then that opens up a lot of jobs. And get rid of the welfare program. Flat out. If this country's doing so great, Jojo, and this economy is so great, then why do we got a welfare system? Why am I paying taxes so other people can live if this country is so great? We're spending over $1 trillion a year on people to sit around. He needs to reinstate the Constitution. I mean, big changes. We need less government. Why can't we get somebody in there that downsizes the government? Oh, we're going to throw a lot of people unemployed. Get rid of the FBI. Get rid of the CIA. Get rid of the ATF. Get rid of the IRS. We don't need none of that stuff. All that stuff is for us to control the American citizen. It's not to sit there and make us more free. Get rid of all that extra waste. We don't need it. Send more money to the schools. No, we need to send discipline to the schools and teach kids how to read, write, and do arithmetic and history again. Proper history. Real history. Not history that's made up because that's the way they feel it should be. There's so many parts of this country we have to take back. But Trump, do something. I mean, I would imagine after this mess he's gone through, it's just exposing a lot of the problems that need to be fixed. I firmly believe that the only thing that's really going to fix it is 1776. And he could be the leader of that movement if he chooses to be. But he's choosing to be still part of the old political system, which isn't working. Oh, I'll just vote at the next election. Hopefully things will change. People have been saying that for over 20 years. And it's just getting worse. So this country is just falling completely apart. mean, kids being brought up today, being taught what they're being taught, what's right and wrong in their eyes. If at 9 years old, you have a right to make a decision that's going to affect the rest of your life, right? Thank God my parents never let me do that. I remember when I was, I don't know, about 7 or 8, maybe it was, maybe 9. I wanted to change my name to Logan 5. You know why? Because of Logan's Run. And I told my stepdad one day, he just laughed at me. Yeah, just imagine if I could have got away with everything I want to do when I was an adult thinking 9-year-old, right? These kids are going to be tormented the rest of their life because of the decisions they're making. Anyway, and then whatever. America's lost its soul. It's lost its way. We don't want to claim responsibility for our own actions anymore. Always somebody else's fault. It's that person's fault that I didn't make it in today's world. It's hard to make it anyway. But to live a comfortable life is still possible. As long as you don't try to chase that dollar bill all the time. And you can get out of the big city. But our country's on life support. People have no idea what's going to happen to this society and our culture when we become a third world country. I mean, how long do you think the dollar can stay the world's reserve currency, being $35 trillion in debt and gaining $1 trillion in debt every 100 days? I mean, sooner or later, everybody's going to realize it's just a piece of paper that ain't worth nothing. It's not backed by nothing. And when BRICS takes over the global financial economy, the U.S. is going to be hurting. I mean, then we definitely ain't going to have a welfare system. And there's going to be chaos. All the monopoly money they're printing now that people think are worth something in their pocket. Ooh, I can buy something. And I don't have to do nothing for it. These people that are so used to getting free handouts don't do anything in a way to make their lives more independent. They're not out planting a garden. They're taking their kids to the doctor for the newest shot that comes out, obeying every command they're given, just so they can have their needs met. I just don't understand why I have to be the purpose of supplying their needs. So, anyway, I think I'm going to get off of here. But Friday night, I'm going to be back again for Dukes of Hazzard Friday Night Live. I got to do some stuff with the graphics on to make what do they call those thumbnails and stuff. I just don't know that much about computers, but I'm learning it. And I want to make this channel more interesting. See if I can bring more people to the channel. I don't know. It's just like YouTube is just, all I want is a fair shake from YouTube. Every channel should have a fair shake. I shouldn't be shut up or shadow banned for the way I believe. I'm American. I can believe this way. There's nothing in the Constitution that says I have to believe like this person, or I have to be shut up because I won't agree with this person. It gets frustrating. Yeah, asking for too much. Everything that's demanded out of me in a day-to-day basis, on the way I interact with people and the way I perform my work, everything that's expected out of me, I guess if they had expected out of other people, But we're the older generation. We can holler at, and we do a job the right way. So you don't have to go back and do it again a couple months later. We were brought up being critiqued, told what you did was wrong, and fixing it and stuff. Not being told everything you do is great. You didn't screw up. You made it better. Like I say, we had dealt with honesty. The thing that has not happened in this world anymore. Our kids are being brought up on a total lie. The school system. What a way to sit there and just screw a child over the most by filling their brain full of mush. Anyway, we can all end this. 1776. Anyway, the dogs are excited. I think I need to go. But anyway, Friday night, 8 o'clock. Dukes of Hazzard. Friday night free for all. This Lone Wolf Prepper. We'll see you all later.